Viewer beware, you're in for a scare.
Hello, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Anastasia.
And welcome back to our horror chat. Today we're going to be talking about Krampus. I wish we got this done before Christmas, but we did not.
Sadly.
But yeah, it is still good. I actually watched it, I believe, around Halloween, actually, because we actually own Krampus. I didn't realize we owned Krampus, and Krampus came on HBO. I think it still is there. At least it was Christmas Day. Now, has it went off since then? I don't know, but I think it's pretty easily to find. It's a newer movie, so it's not like it's a obscure movie that you can't find. So we actually wound up watching it
Christmas
Eve night because that's how our family is. We enjoy a little horror in our Christmas.
Yeah, what's Christmas without a threat of a demonic creature coming into your house and killing everybody?
Exactly. So the movie was made in 2015. Like I said, it's a relatively new movie. It was directed by Michael Duggar. So actually, like, Krampus itself is a horned folklore figure described as a half goat, half demon, who during the Christmas season punishes
the naughty children.
Naughty children.
He's also called Santa's Shadow.
Is he?
Yeah, that was his original name was Santa's Shadow.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they was like, oh yeah, let's give him an actual name, and it's Krampus. How do I know this? Because I did research.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. So is this something that has just been made up recently, or has it been like something a long time ago?
It's been like a long time ago. Like that's kind of like why it's like folklore. Because it was a long time ago. Like, people actually believed that if you were naughty, Krampus was going to come into your house, put naughty children in his bag, and beat them to death with, like, some people say with his staff, some people said with reeds, whatever that is.
It's just like sticks.
Yeah, and some people said he's with his chain, which he had in the movie.
Yeah, he had in the movie.
He had chains. So yeah, it's not like a recent.
Okay. So it is actual like folklore. I wasn't sure because up until I'd heard of the movie, I'd never heard of Krampus.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I didn't know, but like looking up on Wikipedia, that's what it said, that it was folklore. So the movie, like, little synopsis, is that it is, it is classified as a horror comedy. I do feel like there is some comedy elements in it. Yeah. Although I do not feel like it is a lighthearted comedy. I feel like definitely a little careful with like any kids watching, because
very careful.
I would definitely say.
I feel like the comedy parts was just like comic relief, like.
Yeah, I do too.
Because it was a PG movie.
Right.
So they need
It was PG-13.
Oh, PG-13.
So PG-13, like, basically, you can have a little, like, blood. You can't, like, basically, like, gut someone and show that.
You can't show Green Inferno type.
Yeah,
movies.
But it definitely, I think younger kids, it would freak out. So I'd be very careful, like, even though it does have, like, some comedy in it. But basically, so you have this family, extended family that gets together that doesn't get along all that well.
Nope.
And in this movie specifically, if like a kid loses hope and instead of sending like Santa a wish, sends a wish that, like the stuff would just be over.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That's what causes Krampus. Not necessarily like being bad, because in this instant, I felt like he was the nicest person in the family. He was the nicest
really person. He still believed in Santa, and when his cousins made fun of him about it, he kind of lost hope and says, I just want this to be over. I want them to be gone. And he rips up his letter to Santa and throws it out the window.
Exactly. I will definitely say, and this to me was like probably what the comedic elements were, is that in this one Krampus had a lot of helpers. And the helpers were things.
His helpers did more killing.
It did. His helpers did more killing, and his helpers were the comic relief, but they were like super scary. It was like gingerbread men come to life.
The gingerbread man was my favorite.
Like they would kill you.
There was a robot. There was a teddy bear. There was a doll. There was like
my favorite, but scared me. Like literally, this would be terrifying. Is a Jack in the Box. And Jack in the Box are literally the scariest thing that
the big one or like the small ones. Because there was like a giant.
Both of them scare me. Both of them scare me. Like you get
the giant one that scared me.
You get that music going. I'm talking about in real life. I ain't even talking in this thing. You get that music going. You know, that kind of stuff. Oh my God, I swear to God, I'll have a heart attack at some point.
That's why I like to tease her every time we go to Toys R Us. I'll find one and just
it drives me insane. I don't know why. Those things are scary. But like, it had a giant Jack in the Box. Like, it swallowed a kid. Yeah, so those were definitely like funny, but they were scary.
They were very scary.
And we see Krampus, which to me, like, Krampus was made to be like almost like the devil. It was very kind of like demonic.
Because he was like in the underworld, and that was kind of interesting. Because you know, I didn't really know where Krampus was. It's just with the underworld, it's kind of like, well, is he a devil or?
Right. And I will have to say though, there were parts of when I watched it the first time. There were parts I didn't get. Including the ending, which we're not going to give it away, but including the ending, I didn't get. The second time I watched it, I was like, oh, yeah, everybody else got it. I think I just wasn't paying attention that well. But, because I do know that I was, like, kind of falling asleep when I watched it the first time. Not because it's not a good movie. I was just tired. But, yeah, so I didn't get, the first time I watched it, I didn't understand the ending. Like, I saw what happened, but I was like, is this what... I'm not getting it, but now I understand, but I'm not going to give it away. It doesn't really have a twist. It's just like you're along for the ride. Like every, you know, it just, because everybody like in their immediate area is gone. And it turns out that like the grandmother knew what was going on and like kept their fire going. So it kind of like slowed down like all of his helpers to come down. Krampus could only come down the chimney. So he like Santa, because I guess there's rules. I like rules in horror movies.
Yeah, so his helpers were basically trying to get on the inside and create a way for him to come in. Like, he left like a bag.
Oh my gosh, the elves. The elves were so good, but we didn't see the elves till near the end. But those were scary too. Those were like
the elves were the
freaky
ones
like dark elves.
Yeah, the elves were the main helpers that actually helped Krampus get in. The others, they were just like, hey, look, people, let's start killing them. But when the elves come, they like basically bust a big hole in the living room and like pour out the fire so Krampus can come down. So I thought that was like interesting when the elves came by.
The elves looked really cool. Like everything.
I really love the German grandmother too. She was like one of my favorite
the German grandmother.
characters.
Yeah. I think this movie did a really good job of, even though this is a horror movie, and sometimes horror movies go so fast that you don't really build a bond with the characters themselves. You build a bond, like you feel like for some members of this family.
Yeah, I built a bond with a younger son right off the bat, because I was like, oh, he's so...
I like the son, I like the grandmother. Yeah. Those were probably the two most like sympathetic.
The sister was nice too. I felt sympathy for her as well.
I did too for the sister. I felt like their family in general was nice. Yeah. The sister was just like the first one to die, so you didn't like, you know.
But I also didn't like how, you know, because there was a baby and a dog, and
we lived in terror. So there's one thing, like I don't know if y'all know this, because I'm not sure. I don't know that we've done the Annabelle movie. Have we done the Annabelle movie? Okay. I have this big, like, I have a high horror threshold. Like, I can pretty much watch anything until you get in a baby or you get in an animal. And, like, I just, like, yeah, or old people. But generally, like, kids and if there's a baby in a horror movie, all my mind is doing like nothing better happened to that baby, nothing better happened to the baby.
And of course something happens to the baby.
Something happens to the baby, but luckily...
They don't kill it, they just grab it. That's it.
Right. So I could like live with that, because it wasn't like you didn't see anything happen to the baby specifically.
They just kind of carefully took it and
but like
walked
the whole time I'm thinking nothing better happened to the baby. You touch the baby, I'm gonna be mad.
They got rid of they had like the dog not kill necessarily, but like try to get one of them, and I think he got eaten by the giant.
Like you heard the dog whine, which pissed me off because they specifically sent the dog after something, and I'm like, what? Keep the dog with you. What are you doing? Like, yeah, the dog is there, and like if the people
and
come
also
in,
somehow the dog went through a vent and made its way up to the ceiling.
Yeah, I don't get it, but
like,
anyway,
unless there's stairs in the air vents, I don't see that being.
I felt like that was
unless it grabbed the dog.
I personally felt like it was a way of getting rid of the dog without showing getting rid of the dog because of that specific thing. Because people, because it was a PG-13 movie, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, like, completely, like, just break people's hearts so much. So, it was the way to get rid of the dog without getting rid of the dog. I think that's what it was, but it still ticked me off. Because I was like, don't send the dog up to the vent.
I know. I was angry because I'm like, really, why? Like, dogs are family. That's basically sending like one of your children to go fight.
Exactly. Like to us, like our dogs are our family. Our animals are our family. Yes. So that made me mad. But overall, I think it's a very good watch. It's a fun time. It's a fun movie. It's not as lighthearted as other movies. It's not as lighthearted as Elvira, which we talked about, which I actually like. I think that's Elvira to me is like more family friendly than this is. Like you could have, I'm not like super young kids, no, but like
no, not with Elvira.
No, I mean more so for like her boobage, but I mean like there's not any like severe, like there's not like cussing, there's not like killing in Elvira. But this one, definitely not, because you don't want to ruin, like, kids' Christmas and, like, oh, if I'm bad, Krampus is coming after me. I mean, unless you do. But, I definitely...
if that's the only way to keep your kids in mind, that's the only way. I ain't judging you.
True. Well, I'll judge you a little bit. But, yeah, I definitely have, like, 2 thumbs up for this movie. I think it's a good time. Yeah, it
just deserves a 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good watch. Just, I would definitely, 14-year-olds and up, maybe 15-year-olds and up, just depending on
I feel like
13-year-olds.
Depending how mature.
Yeah, I would say like maturity level. It doesn't have any, like sex. It doesn't really have any cussing. There's a couple of times like I would have cussed. Honestly, if I actually thought it was very strange because all these people like really kept, because I didn't realize it was a PG-13 movie until like I was asking like why is nobody like there's things like biting your feet and nobody's like saying any bad words. And
like my family, they kind of like thump me and I cuss.
Yeah, I mean it's like
something biting me, something grabbing and eating my family, I am going to cuss my heart out. Like, you are going to hear it.
Yeah.
But none of these people let it loose.
So like, it's all good thing to know, but I definitely say go watch the movie. It's good. And yeah, just remember to
keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive and don't piss anybody off on Christmas, and like let's hope Krampus doesn't come after you because that would suck.
Yep.
We'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye.